Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Let me show you what I've been up to here with the Mustang. I've put the firewall in, put the upper and lower cow in, and you know, the side panels that go on each side of the cow, they had some rust in them. I went ahead and replaced those. And I've got it pretty well welded in. I've also put torque boxes. A 66 Mustang didn't come with torque boxes, but most everybody that's doing this kind of work just adds that extra strength and makes it a lot stiffer. So, you know, when I took the existing firewall out and the cow out, you know, the front end did want to dip a little bit, but I got my laser level lined up on the front frame rails in order to get that correct. I got all the rockers were all on level lengthwise of the car, as well as crossways across the two rockers. So I got a big 6-foot level to do that. The last panel I have to replace is this panel here in the apron. I've already started drilling out. You can see where I've already started with my plug weld, my spot weld drilling bit. I've got a few more to drill out, but I got most of them drilled out. I've got my air chisel here ready to start hammering this thing out. I want to be kind of delicate. I don't want to mess up the panel that the shock tower's on. One thing I've done a couple days ago is I took the car back out. I put the wheels back on it. I couldn't steer it other than by hand. I had to grab a hold of the tire and keep twisting as I pulled it over to where the paint bay, where we do blasting and painting, and I pulled it over there. I blasted off all this front radiator support. With the inside here, obviously, since this is being replaced by that new panel over there on the wall, I obviously didn't blast that. I blasted all this area here. Again, the firewall was new. I blasted this and painted it so that I could get it braced off to get my dimensions right and hold this front end steady. I've got all new suspension parts that I bought. I've got all new tie rod ends, upper and lower control arms, the whole kit here that I'm going to put on. I've basically built my own spring compressor here. You can buy these anywhere from $70 to $120 on the internet, but I just built my own. Yeah, so that's where we are. All right, so I'm going to set us up on a little bit of time lapse, and I'll go ahead and get this panel out. I got this panel off finally without too much damage, but let me show you what my challenges are here, and let's see if we can overcome them. I really don't want to have to go buy a new rad support, but anyway, let's take a look at it here. So this panel is where all the rust comes in from the battery. This is all very clean, but the bottom edge of this rad support is pretty well pitted, and you can see how thin the metal is here and here. You know, I'm just a little concerned about this right here. Once it starts, it never really stops unless I can totally cut the cancer out. I mean, I could cut another piece of metal and replace, you know, basically cut across here and here. The rest of this panel is not that bad. I mean, it's really in pretty good shape, other than, you know, the bending and the warping from people leaning over the car, and every time I get to something that's kind of marginal, I end up replacing it. That's not necessarily a bad thing, actually. So let me go get the new panel here just to see how it lays in here. I bought the Dynacorn panel because all the ones I've seen that are, I think, coated with the black coating, the non-Dynacorn, are really boogered right here, very poor stamping, but this one's really, really nice. So Just see how this fits in here. Apron piece has to slide under this existing piece. There we go. Yeah, that looks really nice. And these holes look pretty close as well. You know, I look under these hoods and I see, you know, all this kind of sheet metal, so wavy and bent up, and you know, I think I can straighten out some of this. I don't want to cut this out where I've got my VIN numbers are stamped in here and right here. Uh-oh. Well, the other thing I've seen, some of the other folks replacing this I've seen on other videos, they've actually had to transfer this fender connection piece off the old panel to the new. But, you know, this Dynacorn panel looks really nice. They did a really nice job on this. So, all right, well, let's take a look. I'm going to do some fitting here. I'll get it clamped in and come back to you. All right, so I got this thing mocked up in here, and it fits really, really nice. You know, I can straighten this out and mate this up, get the holes lined up well. Again, I am just concerned about the rust on this bottom of the core support. Now, I think I'm gonna go see what I can find if I've got a piece of sheet metal off of some of these pieces I've cut off that I might be able to use, and you know, replace this piece right here. All right, so let me show you what I've done. I've made the decision to go ahead and repair this radiator core support here. You know, here's the piece I decided to cut off, or what's left of it. I know this metal is likely, I'm guessing 16, 18 gauge. It's pretty thin metal, and you know, in the shop here, the smallest I have quick access to is 14 gauge. So I went ahead and made something. It's a little bit thicker. I'm maintaining the surface. It's a very slight difference. Maybe I'll put on the screen, you know, in decimal thicknesses, the differences. But you know, it's very slight difference here. Okay. And so what I'm doing is I went out to CJ Pony and a few places to see what a replacement panel would be. And you know, it's a Dynacorn, well, without the box on the front, just the panel is somewhere between $75 to $90. It was in the 85, 90 range. So I decided to go ahead and made me a replacement patch here, and just tacked it in place. Had a little bit of a jog here that I've bent into the plate, and I think that's going to do me. And then I'll probably, you know, initially it had kind of a diagonal cut on it, so I'll probably do a little bit of trimming, and you know, just to make this a little bit similar to what it used to be. All right, so let me get that welded in, then I can go ahead and prep this panel with the holes I need to drill. Let me get this thing welded in. I really want to get this thing painted, cleaned up and painted, so I don't lose all the effort I made to sandblast this out. Hey.
I didn't think about it, but you're gonna weld these, ain't you?
No.
Okay, well they're galvanized.
That's fine. I'm not
This
welding.
is still hot.
Okay. So what this is going to do is take the spring out. You got to compress it down, and they sell these for like $120 on Amazon. It looks exactly like this, and
$240.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'll do one at a time, but I'll have to take this thing off to get it down in there. And it goes just, that mounts just like the shock, because I cut that off the shock.
Okay.
And
take that off. And then...
see, the shock mounts right there, and these will go in the same hole.
Okay.
So I need to take this whole suspension off. Looking forward to the next episode. So next time I get out working on this 66 coupe, y'all come go with us.